Hey guys, my name's Kaylee for those of you who are new here, but if you aren't, welcome back to my channel. So, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how Starbucks training has been for me so far. If you didn't know, I just recently got a job at Starbucks, so I've done a little bit of training, and I just felt like making a video talking about it, talking about my experience so far. Obviously it's going to be different for everyone, but right before I got the job I was watching a ton of videos about people's experience, mainly people who had just started, and so I want to be someone who can offer that help as well, because before you start you just don't really know what to expect. So I've only had 3 days of training so far, but I think that's perfect for one video because then I can really talk about each day instead of having like a week and having to like rush through each day, you know? So I'm gonna be looking at my phone, reading what I wrote, and I'm obviously wearing my apron. I just thought I'd wear it for this video, even though you can't, I mean, this is so high up that you can't really see it, but I also have one of my Starbucks shirts on. The hat, I don't feel like wearing the hat in this video though. Okay, well obviously you have to Velcro it. And normally your hair's up, but for the sake of this video, yeah, I don't know, it looks weird like with your hair down. But, you know, I'm not wearing it in this video. Sorry if you can hear my fan, I just want it on. So, okay, again, I just want to clarify that just because my day 1 was like this and my day 2 and day 3, that doesn't mean that this is how yours is gonna go. This is just how mine went, and eventually what I do is like what you're gonna do at some point. It's obviously not gonna be like exact, this is what you do day 1, this is just what I did, okay? So on day 1 I read a big book, flipping through pages, just reading about everything you could possibly know about the job and what you have to do. Also, in regards to the book, I watched a bunch of videos which showed you how to do different stuff, but they obviously don't expect you to know like after the video like, okay, I'm like perfect at this now. Obviously it's just to get knowledge of it, start learning more, and you do this stuff like with your trainer, so you will obviously get a trainer. You will grow pretty close to this trainer because I mean they're literally your like, I mean, okay, you're a trainer, but there's like a word I'm looking for. It's just kind of like, you know, as a little kid when you go somewhere with your parents, like they're your you know what I'm trying to say, like you're like okay, anyways, sorry, my brain's a little off from being sick, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. You'll obviously have a trainer. She'll show you, he or she will show you the videos and be with you every step of the way, okay? So don't worry about that. And my trainer was nice enough to get me a drink while I was reading. She got me a pink drink, obviously, because I told her that I wanted a pink drink. And then after I watched like the videos and read the whole book, she showed me a little tour behind the counter, not in too much detail, but she just kind of showed me where things were. Just kind of get a feel for like where I'd be working. So she showed me like, let's see, on here I wrote just, yeah, behind the counter, like what to do with the pastries and when you restock and stuff, that kind of stuff. I actually got to take a few pastries home to try. I got to take home the vanilla scone, blueberry muffin, pumpkin muffin, cinnamon twist. Basically, your trainer should at least let you bring home things, or while you're there try things, because the whole, you know, you have to know what things taste like so that if a customer asks you can tell them. So just keep in mind that when you do get things to try, really consider like, okay, what does it taste like, because that's important for you to know if a customer were to ask. And they were all delicious. The pastries I got to bring home, they were so delicious. So you just kind of like, you want to take some home? Sure. And just always say yes, okay? Even if you really don't want to. If your trainer asks you if you want to try something, say yes. That looks good. You want to show that you want to taste everything. So that's all I wrote for day 1. Day 1 really isn't as bad as you think it is. They obviously aren't doing a ton with you. You're not actually like really doing stuff. Day 2 started off a little rough. I kind of got yelled at for I clocked in 5 minutes early, or I tried to at least. I walked right in, and you know, this is my first day really clocking in. The first day my manager just did it for me because I didn't have my card yet. Basically, for like where I work, I have a card that I used to swipe to clock in, and I didn't get it until the end of day 1. So my manager just like did it for me. Like he clocked me in and out because I hadn't learned it yet. But on day 2, when I went in, I had to just like do it, and it's not that complicated. Just clock in, whatever. But I just hadn't done it before, and this is my first job, so I didn't know. I just assumed that when you get there, okay, you can clock in, you're here, but you're supposed to, basically you can't clock in more than 2 minutes early. So I had a shift at noon that day, and I got there to swipe in, clock in at 11:55, and you know, I thought I was doing the right thing, you know, clock in, I just got there, you know. And then my 2 managers were actually sitting like kind of at a table near where the clock-in thing was, and they're like, no, like too early, but with an attitude. Like they weren't just saying no, don't, you know what I mean, like with an attitude. So that kind of stressed me out, but I'm just bringing it up in here just so you know, don't clock in more than 2 minutes early because you can't. It's a rule. I just didn't know that. It makes sense now that I do know it, but I didn't know it at the time. This is my card, if you're wondering. So it doesn't say Starbucks because I work at a travel plaza. That's how day 2 started, and I was super stressed because I just got there and I was already getting yelled at, but it's fine. I know now, won't clock in more than 2 minutes early. Then actually, as soon as I got there, my trainer, her name is Rachel, so if I say Rachel, that's my trainer's name. She showed me how to make a pink drink. So, you know, when last time she just went over to make a pink drink while I was reading, but on day 2 she actually showed me how to make it. And I already kind of knew how to make it because of TikTok, but I hadn't seen it in person really before. So that was really cool, and of course I got to have it. It was for me, but she showed me how to make it. That day I learned how to brew coffee. I'll insert a picture right here of kind of like what the station looks like, and you just kind of learn how to, like, which one you gotta move and which one's the old one you gotta dump. It's kind of hard to explain because it's not like in front of me, but like we have like 3 different things, and you gotta like dump the old one, like drain the old one, and you gotta like brew a new one. So there's a whole process to it, obviously. You gotta grind the coffee beans and then put the coffee beans in, and then blah blah blah. You learned how many scoops and yada yada yada. Alright, then I also learned how to warm up the pastries. You know, sometimes a customer wants their pastry, for example like banana bread, sometimes they want it warmed up, so you have to learn how to use the oven. And I learned how to use the oven and literally like served customers with pastries that day, bagels, things like that. So that was really fun to learn. The buttons really aren't too bad. The oven literally tells you like pastries, breads, or bagels, things like that. You just press certain buttons and it will just go off when it's ready, and then you put it in the bag, and there's a whole process to it. You can't touch the food obviously, so you use the tongs, and you'll learn if you're getting a job at Starbucks. Also obviously at Starbucks they have ice, and so in the back room they have the whole big thing of ice. So when behind the counter, when they start getting low on ice, you got to fill up a big bucket and dump it so that the baristas have fresh ice. So I got to do that a couple times. Really fun. I don't know why, but filling up ice is just so fun to me. A big one that day that I learned was customer support. So customer support, you have a timer, and every 15 minutes you have to do the customer support cycle, which is brewing coffee, which is why I learned how to brew coffee and stuff. Just like they'll say the coffee routine, you just gotta brew the coffee. It's kind of hard to explain, as I said, without it, but you learn that. And then like you gotta like clean the counters, clean the area where people are sitting, stuff like that, and help restock. So you know, if things are running low, you gotta go to the back room, help restock, stuff like that. That's the customer support routine. You have 15 minutes to do the cycle, and then you gotta do it again, stuff like that. But sometimes you will have extra time, and you know, once you're more trained, you can spend that extra time to actually help make drinks and stuff and do other things. But obviously as a new person, you really can only do what you know so far. Sometimes you won't have to clean like every 15 minutes, especially in COVID, where because it's my travel plaza, no one's really sitting there. They're just going and going back to their car. So you don't have to clean as much. I don't have to clean as much because there's no one sitting. You do tend to have extra time, but for me right now, I kind of, there's not much I can do. So sometimes you're kind of just standing there and you will feel helpless at times. I felt helpless, you know, when I was just standing there. I just did my customer support routine. There's nothing else you know how to do really, and you kind of wait. If a customer wants a pastry and you learned how to warm that up, you can help do that. But trust me, like, you will feel helpless a lot of the time in the beginning because you don't know how to do everything. You can only do what you were trained on. So that's just how it is, and it sucks. I hate feeling helpless, but I know that's just a part of the process, and I just gotta be patient and know that I will one day soon know how to do everything and I can help a lot more. And then also on day 2, that's just when I got my visor and my apron. I got 2 new shirts, you know, so here's one and I'm wearing another one. I do have another one as well. It's actually a men's one. They gave me a men's one at first. Love that. I also have like a t-shirt, which is like a Starbucks logo on it, but it's in the water. Or it's not. I think it's just in my laundry. And also I got a name tag. You can either write it. Here, I'll show you. You can either write it or they can print it out for you. At least that's what they were able to do for me, and I just haven't printed out because things like this I'm too scared to just like write on in case I mess up. So this is my name tag, and it just obviously goes on your apron. My trainer had me put it on my hat like when I got it on day 2, and it didn't really make sense, but obviously like you kind of just listen to them. You kind of just like whatever they say you just do. But it's really meant to be right here. I think the only reason why she put it on my hat or visor because I had the timer for customer support, which she could have just put my name tag over here, but I don't know, she put it on my hat, but I'd rather have it right here. And I got to have like a little 5-minute break just to go to the back room and try a cheese Danish, which was very good. I got to heat it up myself and everything, you know, as you should, because you're learning, you know, practice and do what you know. And actually one thing that I didn't know was, I mean it makes sense now, but when I was using the tongs to take it out of the oven, the tongs like hit the middle part of, like it just touched the middle part of the cheese Danish slightly, and when you're getting the cheese Danish, you can't do that. You can't just grab from the middle because the tongs will touch the middle part of the cheese Danish and it just gets the tongs dirty. So you really just gotta like grab the edge of it, but I kind of wish you told me that before I grabbed it, but it's fine because it's a learning thing. So when you're grabbing cheese Danishes, be careful. Don't grab right the middle. Just grab the side of it. Anything else really, you can just grab, go. And that day, I swear I saw my Spanish teacher. Well, I know now that it wasn't her because I've already asked her and she said she wasn't there, but she's got to have a twin or something, and I swear I saw her. And I just felt like adding that in here. You might see people you know. Alright, and then day 3, the last day I'll be talking about in this video, was actually today. So this is fresh in my mind, but I'm still just gonna read right from what I wrote. So today I actually, when I first got there, had to show my managers my negative COVID test because I have been sick. I'm getting over it now. Like you can't even really tell I'm sick, but I obviously just had to show them that. Anyways, then I worked on customer support again. You know what I just went over, like the brew. I mainly brewed coffee today. I didn't clean at all. I restocked like a couple water bottles in the front display, but I mainly did like the coffee routine. Today, the new thing I learned was how to steam milk. That whole process, which I watched a ton of videos of, so I kind of knew what I was doing, but actually doing it is obviously different than seeing it. They make it look easier than when you do it, but it's not a hard thing to learn. It's not bad. And once I knew how to steam the milk, I made a bunch of drinks like lattes, cappuccinos, Americanos, which you don't need the milk for, but still, I'm just saying, macchiatos. Like I learned how to make a ton of coffee, and I got to try every single one that I made. And if you know me, I don't like coffee, but either it's just something magical in the Starbucks coffee or my taste buds are just changing. I didn't hate the coffee. There were some that I liked more than others, but one of the ones that I really liked was the cinnamon dolce latte. That was really good. I liked that one. And the chai latte I got to try. I tried a bunch of drinks, even like refreshers. I learned how to make more refreshers today, like the dragon drink, violet drink, or not the violet, the very berry hibiscus. I learned how to make a ton of drinks today, and I even got to actually like make a drink for a customer. I made like 2 for them, not by myself, like my trainer was helping with it obviously, but I actually got to like make a drink for someone, which was cool. Kind of scary though, because it was my first day that I learned drinks and I was already helping make them for people, but you know, your trainer's right there. I helped with the oven a couple times, you know, just working on those oven skills. Oh, also, sorry, back on the coffee thing, the hazelnut oat milk latte was really good too. It's just crazy because I never thought I'd be actually sitting here telling you guys of these coffees that I like, because I just don't drink coffee, but I think that this job, I really feel like I'm gonna end up drinking coffee more. Then also she had me read, you know, since I learned how to make drinks today, she had me read all of this. That took like about an hour just to read all this, because it's like reading and understanding. And she let me take it home so that, you know, this next week I can just like study, and it doesn't mean I'm gonna have it like down, but just to kind of really memorize, understand and memorize like how many like shots and stuff go in each, because it's different, and like syrups, just a lot. So okay, every Starbucks has these things, but ask your trainer if you can like take this home, as long as you know you're actually gonna study it, because otherwise then what's the point in bringing it home. And this is also good for learning like this is an easy one, but like the abbreviations, because you gotta know those too. Again, still kind of felt helpless, you know, I wasn't 100%, like I'm not this like pro at it, but I do know more now than I did like on day 2 and day 1. So as you train more, you'll feel a little less helpless, because you learn more each time. So I just wanted to bring that up again, because you're gonna feel helpless, and it does suck, because you know that you don't just want to stand there, that looks bad, but you also don't really know what else to do. You know what I mean? If a customer isn't asking for a pastry, then you can't do your you know what I mean? If you already brewed the coffee, you can't just keep doing it right then and there. You gotta wait, and yeah. Worst comes to worst, just clean, I guess. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with extra cleaning. Again, keep checking like restock and stuff, making sure the display looks nice. That's key. My trainer also showed me how to brew cold brew, and just we had to grind all those coffee beans, and it's like a whole 21 hours. You gotta wait to like add the water in it and stuff, but I saw like how she got it. It was new. And then the last thing that I have on here was polls. I guess they do polls. So when you can go in the back room to restock more stuff, the poll basically tells you like what you need more of, but you have to make the poll yourself. And she made the poll, and then I went with her to go help restock, get more of what we need from the back room. And that's really all I did today. So a lot of information, but don't be nervous. Just it's not so bad. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. If you're trying to work here, if you're just one of my friends watching this, hi, okay, this is what I've been doing. But that's really all there is to this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful to those of you who are looking to get a job at Starbucks, or already have the job and are about to start training, or in training, or whatever. Again, everyone's experience is different, everyone's training is different. I hope that you get, or already do have, a good trainer, because that is key. I have a good trainer. She's been working here for 7 years, so she knows what she's doing, and it's obviously important to have a good trainer, because otherwise, yeah, good luck. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this. I'm sure I'll make at least 1 or 2 more Starbucks training related videos, because at some point I feel like I'm just going to be saying the same stuff, because you just end up doing the same stuff. But in the beginning, since I am starting, I think it's important to help people out with what it's like in the beginning. Yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on Saturday. That was really choppy, but I'll see you all on Saturday. Bye guys.